All right, let's go. So, the research I want to discuss today, welcome everybody, by the way. Thank you for showing up. Um, the research I want to talk about today was the research done at the Harvard School of Public Health. I think they call it Harvard T-Chan School of Public Health or whatever. And it has to do with it has to do with hold goodness me. So the research basically it shows that when you engage in mixed exercises, and when we say mixed exercise, that's sort of like CrossFit. The fittest athletes in the world are usually CrossFit athletes because they do just about everything. They lift weights, you do cardio or aerobic exercises, you do calisthenics, everything mixed into one. There's an overall total fitness, and people who do that type of exercise have a better chance of living longer and reduce mortality, reduce cases of death among those kinds of people that exercise, mixed exercise. Now, some people do only heavy lifting, strong men, the bodybuilders, the powerlifters, just heavy lifting. That is one facet of exercising. Some people just do cardio. See, some people go to the gym, they don't lift weight, they just walk on the treadmill, they run on the treadmill, they ride a stationary bike. That's all they do. Just cardio or aerobic exercise. And then you have those that are in the middle, kind of like me. We do heavy lifting, we do cardio, we do calisthenics, pull-ups, dips, all of that stuff. Mix everything in the mixed bag. That is a healthiest form of exercise. And if you take that route, you have a good chance of living longer, being healthier, reduce mortality, reduce diseases, and you tend to look younger when you have that mixed bag of exercises. If you look at marathon runners, they all look kind of old. It's just running is an excellent way to burn calories, lose weight, but it puts so much stress on the body, your hips, your knees, your ankles, your legs, just so much pounding on the pavement. So it's a great way to burn calories, but very stressful on the body. Running is something like you want to do like maybe once a month. Like, you want to go do some, run for like, 7 to 10 miles, maybe once a month. Like, you should be like far in between. Sprinting is okay. Running 100 meters, boom, 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 that's it. But like long distance running, just so much stress on the body, So that's sort of like the research I want to share today. So, and all these things give pleasure, like, what we're doing is backed by science, backed by research. What I do is backed by research. I don't just pump and lift weights. It's all brain and brawn, mix everything in there. And a healthy exercise that we're going to do today, and it's basically standard, but let's get it going. So let's get started. So I do my usual warm-ups with weights, and like I always share, I'm reminding anyone that's just looking at this for the first time, use this weight, but you could also, my phone is ringing now. Use this weight, but guess what? You could use anything you have at home. A gallon of water, you use a gallon of water. You can use your kids. If you have a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, use them. Have fun with them, play with your kids. And when your kids see you play, obviously there's a way to spend a good time with them. Because if you're in the gym, you can't go to the gym with your kids. But if you're working out at home, guess what? You can play with your kids and work out with them safely. You can use them as a weight, And this is one of those things you can do. Carry your kids and just both of them go diagonally side to side. They're gonna be giggling, having fun. laughing, you exercising, laughing, having a good time, everybody happy. So it's something good, something fun. Then go the other way as well. Just like that. Side to side. This is not only is this stretching, getting loose, warming up, but I'm also lifting weights. There's a little bit of cardio involved because of the reps. So it's a mixed bag of goodies. You know, and that's what you want to do. Have a workout regimen that's a mixed bag of goodies. Because that's overall fitness. Strength, speed, aerobic exercise, resistance training, all of that mixed into one. It's the most perfect way to exercise. Backed by research, right? Backed by research. When you exercise, use your brain. And I always share any information I've got, anything I've learned, so we can all get better. And hey, when you exercise, lift weights, you tend to look younger, at least 4 years younger. And tell you what, you know, I did a body scan, you know, last year, right? And the body scan I did actually shows me to be biologically 4 years younger than my actual age. So there's genuine benefit in exercising because the body just heals better. You have more muscle content, it's stronger, everything is firm, reduce fat. All that stuff makes you feel and look younger than your actual age. So that's what's up. So I'm gonna wear my weighted vest pretty soon to start my push-ups. Before I go there, I gotta work on my hips, legs. I always want to do this, keeping the hips loose. You loosen the hips, warming up your hips, and aligning your hips with your back. You know, you always have to, because you constantly think about it, constantly sitting down, lying down, lifting, doing all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot of misalignment going on. Back pains don't just happen because they want to happen. When you're lifting weights, sitting down, lying down awkwardly, all that stuff affects the alignment of the hips, right? And over time, as it gets worse and worse, you begin to feel pain. If you do something crazy, lift heavy weights or do some jerking motion, you might just snap and then you begin to feel that sharp pain or dislocation or hernia or whatever. So, and you need a disc. So you want to always make sure to keep your hips aligned with your lower back so you don't have all this pain. You know, you strengthen hip flexors and all that. If you can't do this, you know, support yourself and do what I'm doing. It might look awkward, but it's super important. So do the other leg. The awkwardness doesn't matter. It's all about the benefit that you get from what you're doing. And after a few while, you're gonna be able to do it without losing your balance. And it takes some practice to be perfect. Go 1, 2, 3. I'll go clockwise. Seven, 8, 9, Stuff like just makes my hips feel loose, no pain, no strain, just feels good. All right, now let's start the all right, so let's start our push-ups. Like you must already know if you haven't been following me. I use my weighted vest. I don't like to do the easy push-ups. I go all the way. Push myself all the way down, touch the floor. Chest to the floor. Got my click on. Legs raised. Use anything you can to raise your leg. Use a chair, couch, bed, wherever you are, just raise your legs while you're doing it. It's a little bit harder, but it's a lot more effective and efficient. I'd rather do 100 clean, intense push-ups than 500 simple, easy push-ups. So it's all about the intensity, the quality of what I'm doing. Okay. And you can get any one of these weighted vests that can adjust. You get one weighted vests that are adjustable. This is 20 pounds. Well, you can use whatever works for you initially, 5 pounds. And the weights are removable. You can actually remove the weights from these guys. I believe. I think it's the top ones that I can remove the weights from. Right? You can remove the weights, make them a little bit lighter or whatever. But for the most part, I like the weight as it is. 20 pounds, you could use 5 pounds, use 10 pounds. You can go more if you want. If you don't have a weighted vest, like I said, you can play with your kids, work out with them. So when you're doing the push-ups, you can have them rest on your back, and you do the push-ups with them. All right? You can even use your spouse, have fun with your girl, have them lie on your back. It's gonna be fun. It's enjoyable when someone's back. I want to do it as a kid. It just feels fun when they go up and down. So they're gonna enjoy it. They're gonna laugh, and everybody has fun with the workout. So here we go. I'm gonna do 20 straight, and then do 20 dips. All right? Ready? Let's go. Clean push-ups. $16. 20. 20 clean push-ups. Let's transition to dips. Okay. And what I'm doing here is good for my shoulders, good for my chest, good for my triceps, my deltoids, and a little bit of biceps workout. So it's a very good upper body workout. And while you're doing your push-ups, extending your leg, hanging in the air so your core gets some workout in between. So it's all good. Very good upper body workout that we're doing here. All right, 20. 5. 10. 17. 20. That's intense. And this workout, like I said, is not built for me to gain a lot of muscle weight. It's not designed for me to, let me say it again. It's not primed for me to gain a lot of muscle weight because I'm not using very heavy weight. But there's a little bit of muscle gain and maintenance. It's not designed for me to burn a lot of calories. but I'm sure burning calories. It's also not particularly an intense cardio exercise. But as you can see from my breathing, there is some cardio involved because of the amount of reps. So everything is in there, but it's like just in between. It's not all the way up here or there. It's just like mellow for all phases of exercise. All right. So next we're gonna do some more push-ups, okay? This time around we're gonna do 10. All right? We're gonna do 10 and 10. 10 push-ups, 10 dips. Okay? Like I said, if you don't have a vest, I mean, to use the vest, you gotta be able to do push-ups, right? And it's just about me finding ways to increase the intensity. Because a regular push-up is just too easy. If I'm doing regular push-ups, the transition to raising the legs and the platform, that's another level. And then from raising the legs on the platform and wearing the vest, that's another intensity. So there are different tiers of just doing push-ups. All right? So this is it. And if in the event, if in actuality you can't even do one push-up, so I don't want anyone to be left off, you're a girl or you're very obese and you can't do one push-up, you can use the raised platform to start off, okay? For example, this height right here is high. The higher it is, the easier the push-up gets because you're not lifting all your weight, right? So if you have a high, I'm gonna face backwards, okay? If you have a high platform like this, okay, and you go like that, it's a lot easier. You're not as heavy when the platform is raised, all right? When the upper body is raised, the push-up's easy. When the lower body is raised, the push-up is harder. So that's the whole physics behind it. Okay, so if you can't do one flat push-up, use a raised platform and just start off from there. And then graduate to the flat push-ups, and then to raising your legs higher and higher, which is harder and harder and harder. The higher your legs compared to your body, the harder the push-up. So that's just it. The higher your legs are compared to your hands or your head, the harder the push-up is. So if you're doing a handstand push-up with your legs in the wall, that's the hardest because that's as high as you can get. You can't get any more vertical than that. Okay, so just remember that. All right, let's do 10. Do some downwards here. Eight, 10. Clean push-ups. No fucking around. Clean, clean, clean. All right. There's the 10 dips. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And one thing there is that a lot of time people get discouraged because they can't do what's up, Megumi or Megumi. Like and sub, please. People get discouraged when they can't do a particular exercise. And that's one thing I always try to let people, like, it's okay to start from small or something smaller. And you work your way up. So that's why I was just encouraging guys, giving them different options. Like, push up. If you can't do flat, you can even do standing push-ups, You can start from there. You push off the wall, right? Push off the wall. That's the easiest. You can't get any more vertical. So like I said, Think of the head and the legs. If the head is higher than the legs, that's easy. If the legs are higher than the head, that's harder. So if you're standing straight up and pushing off the wall, you didn't push up, but you're not pushing up, you're pushing sideways, right? That's the easiest form of push-up you could do. Then you can go to a table and push off of that, and then go to a chair and push off of that, and then go flat on the ground and push off of the ground, and then raise your legs and do a full handstand. So that's just a progression of doing it. And then, of course, you can also use a vest to make it harder. So that's the secret, that's the way to go. I did my 10 for 10. So we're going to do another 10 for 10, okay? 10 and 10, let's go. Stay focused, guys, stay focused. Let's see what we got here. Nothing. Stay focused, let's go. 10 and 10, all right? Diamonds. 5. 10. Woo. Let's do 10 dips. Five. 10. Now the weights I have here is weighing on my shoulders. It's like dragging me down. So I'll do one more set of 10 for 10 and take it off. It's just so, it's so painful. It's almost like someone's taking a sledgehammer and just hammering down on my shoulders, just bringing them down. It's crazy. But yeah. Oh, so good. Ah. Ah. Oh, that feels better. Just gotta raise my hands. In the recap of the research study, mixed exercises, or otherwise known as CrossFit in gym parlance, is a much better exercise than doing either or. If you only lift heavy weights, like strongmen or bodybuilders or powerlifters, even some bodybuilders do cardio, you know, to tighten things up. They walk or run on a treadmill. But yeah, the point being that you can't just do one type of exercise. You want to mix them up. That helps you live longer, look healthier, look younger, and reduce overall mortality, all kinds of stuff. So if you're someone who just does, you know, cardio, and you can tell someone just does cardio, you know, there's no muscle. They're lean, you're skinny, but no muscle. You just got the marathon runners, you know, the joggers, the little joggers. They are fit with cardio, but no muscle. You need a mixed bag of both. Try to do some resistance, weightlifting, whatever. Even once a week, just do a little bit. It's better to mix them up than just do one. I mean, that's well known, but the Harvard research at the School of Public Health shows that it's actually better to mix them up. So just for the sake of proving it, there you have it. Mix up a workout like I'm doing here today. All right, so let's do one more set of 10 for 10, and that should be a good completion for our afternoon workout. Clean, clean, clean push-ups. That's the 10 dips. Five. 10. Oh, clean. I feel so much better. Like I told you, work out with your kids anytime you can. The sooner they learn to make workouts a part of their life, the better it's gonna be. And kids absorb things faster when it's playful. So if you're playing with them, working out and they have enough fun, they're gonna learn without actually knowing they're learning. You're gonna learn to exercise. My dad and my mom exercising. I'm gonna do the same thing when I grow up. So you can start early. America is too fat, yo. Like 77% of Americans overweight or obese. Good Lord. That's crazy. 77%. We need a revolution of exercising in America. Even for the fact that America is wealthy, we go dying way too early. As a matter of fact, compared to other advanced economies and political systems, Americans live the least longest. Because most countries in Europe have a higher life expectancy. Many countries in the Middle East have a higher life expectancy. There was a time that communist Cuba had a higher life expectancy than the US. It's crazy. A country that poor, and so you just gotta dig down, dig deep, and do better. Okay? So that should do it for me, but I'm gonna taking off that vest made me feel a little bit lighter and stronger. I can do a little bit more. Do a bit more. I got some more energy, so let's go. Let's do another 10 for 10. Woo! That's good. Four, 6, 8, 9. Woo! Okay, that's about it for me. Good workout. I hope you inspired. I hope you enjoyed it, learned a couple things. And like I said, remember from the research, mix up your workout. Don't just go to the gym and run on the treadmill. I think that's enough. That's okay, but it's not the best. Do some weightlifting. And if you don't know how to weightlift, watch others weightlift. Start with something really simple as bicep curls. Everybody can do a bicep curl. Start with that and then transition to other things slowly. But that's about it for me. I will see you guys next time. Woo! Ooh, okay. That was good. Woo. Ah. Ah. Let's clean up after every workout. That's mandatory. All right. Keep everything clean. All right. All cleaned up. See you guys next time.